Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you guys so very much for spending some time with me today and watching this video. This is going to be my weekly group reading for the week of September 13th through to the 19th. Things on a whole continue to really have that anxious edge to them. People are feeling that anxiety as, well, some of us are seeing numbers increase in our communities. We feel vulnerable and we're not sure how to keep ourselves safe, and we're really questioning how we're going to be able to go forward. This week, I am focusing in on remaining in that high vibration so that we're able to overcome these challenges. Together, we'll be able to do this as we walk hand in hand. So this week, we really are focusing in on some of that high vibrational energy, how to overcome what you're going to face this week, and on top of all the other stuff we're dealing with globally. The cards I went with this week, I had to go with the Everyday Witches Tarot and Oracle decks. I find they have a very clear message with bright and inspiring colors and illustrations. They're becoming a fast favorite this year for me because of that positive energy that they exude. And like always, there are links below to both these fantastic decks, so should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. The selections this week, my friends, I have Angelite, Rose Quartz, and Tiger Eye. I want you to quickly look at these crystals and choose whichever one resonates with you right now. And then go in the description box below, and there are timestamps for each crystal. And you can click on that correlating timestamp and it'll take you straight to your reading, and I will see you there. Hello and welcome, my Angelite friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and the oracle cards, so you can get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week holds for you guys. What can my Angelite friends expect from the week of September 13th through to the 19th. I don't know about you guys, but I can't believe that we're already into the middle of September. It's crazy how quickly time is going, and yet at the same time, sometimes it doesn't feel like it's going at all. We feel like we're on this pause. Listening to the wisdom. Such a beautiful card. And so poignant. We need to be listening to that guidance now more than ever. We were never meant to do this journey alone. We were always meant to have that support on that physical plane and on the astral plane. We can hear and understand, well, for the most part, our physical support system. We may not want to hear what they're saying, but we can understand them. There really isn't a lot of language barrier. We're really struggling to hear that guidance and support from those high vibrational beings. And we desperately need that support right now. Like I said before, now so more than ever. We need to start to slow down, trust in our abilities, and being open to the messages and guidance that's being shared with us. I know it's easier said than done. However, the more time you spend working on and with these abilities, the stronger they're going to be and the more reliable those messages are going to seem. The reliability has nothing to do with how well you're using your clairs or how well you're receiving these messages. Rather, that reliability comes with time as we start to see that wisdom and guidance support us, as we start to see things come together. We need that positive reinforcement to be able to start to trust our abilities. It's not them, it's truly an us thing. Taking that time, slowing down, and giving yourself that opportunity to receive those messages. They're going to come in through symbols, feelings, and ideas. And that's why they're so hard to trust. So let's look how we can really bring in this listening to wisdom into this week. So what can my Angelite friends expect from the beginning of the week? The Lovers. What a fantastic card. That connection, that communication. All of it essential and very meaningful for you. The Lovers talks about that connection. It also talks about that communication and bond. This isn't about another individual. This is about that bond with self, that understanding and connection with our higher self. We need to start the week off with a bang. We need to start to work with our abilities on day one. Right at the beginning of the week, starting that connection, that nurturing, that guidance. Trusting in you, trusting in your abilities. Reconnecting with aspects and parts of ourselves and strengthening them. When I say this, I don't mean spending the entire day or hours and hours pushing yourself and trying to receive these messages. You're going to find that there is a resentment then. It's more work than connection. It's about that nurturing and support that you need for you, and it shouldn't be something that feels like a burden or a challenge. Because if it starts to feel like a burden or a challenge, it's when we're less likely to do it. We feel even more taxed than we already are. Taking this in small steps, 15, 20 minutes, 10 minutes. When we take them in the smaller pieces and smaller chunks, we're more able to start to rely on those skills and abilities. We're using them. It's similar to riding a bike. The more we're able to get out on our bike, whether it be for long periods of time or not, the stronger our skill becomes. The same is true with our connections, our intuition, and using our clairs. So starting off in the beginning of the week, starting that week off right, through some meditation, through that time for self, and most importantly, that nurturing. Giving yourself that time to connect in with a really important person in your life, and that's being you. It does take practice, and it can be a challenge. I've got a lot of guided meditations that can support you in this practice, this connection. The first one that comes to mind, of course, is Archangel Chamuel, that love for self. The more we are able to love and connect in with self, the more we're going to be able to receive those messages because our vibration is higher. Like I said, those small chunks, they're more manageable, and we feel better and more empowered once we've done them. So let's look at the middle of the week. What can my Angelite friends expect from the middle of the week? The Knight of Cups. Knights are that adolescent, no fear energy. And we kind of need that. When we're starting to connect in with ourselves, we really need that courage, that determination. Our ego will find many reasons why we shouldn't. Life will find reasons why we shouldn't. During the middle of the week, we're going to find some of those reasons coming up. Remember, this is about that guidance, that connection, your vibration. So we do need to take things one step at a time. We need that shift and change to have that stable foundation. And when we have that small progressive step, we feel more stable and able and stronger to deal with the challenges with our current skill set, rather than jumping back into some of those skill sets that may not be so high vibrational. Now, we have the Knight of Cups. And cups are about emotion and intuition. We're staying in that intuitive sense. Allow that inner voice that's so gentle and soft to guide you forward. Like I said, in the middle of the week, we are going to feel that bump and push. Late last week, I created a new series. I kind of woke up with it as my kids were fighting amongst each other, and I could feel that chaotic push within the house. Now, usually I have a very clear, stable, there's a very clear protection around my house. You can actually feel when you get to the property line, it's like a bubble bursts. But this morning, my kids were really activated by some energies that were really pushing on that protection a bit, which made me think of my friends who may not have that protection. So I created a new meditation series. I called it Just You and Me. I'm not calling in high vibrational beings, and if I do, it's going to be intermittent, and it's a supportive piece. It's not for healing. It's for some of these other aspects that I keep talking about, the grounding, the protection, those type things. I did the first one on protection. It's like a 15-minute meditation, and that can support you with some of this bump and push that we're going to feel in the middle of the week. Again, goes back to that vibration. When we start to meditate, we again bring our hemispheres of the brain into an equilibrium, and we're able to function from a higher vibrational point, which supports your entire day. So, another good tool that you can use to your advantage for this week. Let's go on to the end of the week. What can my Angelite friends expect from the end of the week? I like how we have in this smoke, this is Archangel Raphael. That's what Pamela Coleman Smith drew in her original card. And it looks like he's kind of descending into these heart bubbles. And this heart bubble really helps to symbolize that healing energy of Archangel Raphael. Tarot isn't just about what one card means, it's about that whole picture. Just like how we're not just one piece or aspect of self, we are an amalgamation of lifetimes of experiences. We have to take it as a whole rather than a compartmentalized piece. So things will get really bumpy at the end of the week. We have the Devil, the 15th card in the Major Arcana. That symbol of our ego. Our ego will not sit nicely for this. Like I said, it's going to pull some stops out for you. It's going to try and slow you down. The end of the week, we're going to have to tango with our devil, with our ego. because there are pieces and aspects that are really slowing this down. They're hindering our ability to be open to receive the messages and guidance that we need. We need to brace ourselves for that little bit of a skirmish, because our ego is not good at just letting us grow and expand. It wants to keep us in our box. And we'll try any trickery or coaxing to do it. That misdirection and misleading you is going to be predominant at the end of the week. Taking those deep breaths, meditation, crystals, whatever tools you use that help you maintain that high vibrational space will support you in overcoming some of these challenges. We have the ability to tame our ego, to turn from some of those vices, knowing that there are better and more suitable supports and tools that we can use to overcome challenges. Our ego likes to take the easy way out, but we get that growth through that challenge, through trial and experimentation. And that's really what we're looking at this week, is starting to spread our wings here. When we spread our wings and we try new ideas and aspects, that's when our ego starts to scream and try and revert us back to what is easy, back to that box that causes limitations and stagnation. So this week, not only are we looking at that wisdom that's going to bring the growth that we need to overcome not only the challenges of 2020, but for years to come. We're looking at some very positive coping mechanisms coming up for you, and those added tools and resources are going to be essential for you and your growth. Let's look at some blessings here. What blessings can my Angelite friends embrace for the week of September 13th through to the 19th? Plant those seeds. This week, like I said, is going to bring you that new coping mechanisms, those strategies, those resiliencies, those tools that we need. Some of them are going to be planted this week, and we're going to see them grow and expand, because they need that nurturing and they need time to take hold. We're not going to be able just to throw off our devil and our ego and say, okay, bye. Our ego is part of us. It tries to keep us safe. It does have a positive role within us. It's just that we have let it run wild. We've allowed that fear to control us. Because what our ego is supposed to do is keep us safe. We have that flight or fight response. Now we're always in that fearful mindset. Life isn't about fear. When we start to shift that mindset, that's when we're open to amazing experiences and opportunities that bring us a lot more than what fear could ever hope to offer us. Speak your mind. Again, we go back to that communication, that connection. It's essential that we are open, not only to others and to that wisdom, but we're speaking the truth to ourselves. Our ego is going to throw some pretty challenging situations and fears at us. It's essential that we are open and clear with ourselves, working on that relationship with ourself, that understanding of who we are, and most importantly, what it is we'd like to see happen in this lifetime. Getting some direction and validation on what we're looking at. Essential components, not only for overcoming the challenges of right now, but overcoming those challenges that we're going to face in the future. Now, I didn't do challenges. I'm going to go there now. I was really directed to get into some blessings, because a lot of us are going to really struggle with our ego aspect. So let's look at this challenge. What challenge will my Angelite friends face for the week of September 13th through the 19th? The Six of Wands. Now, sixes are about balance and harmony. That balance is going to impact our ability to receive the guidance, that wisdom, and being able to overcome those challenges our ego is going to throw at us. Now, the Six of Wands speaks of victory, of overcoming challenges, slaying that beast and being victorious. Because we are going to feel unstable, we're not going to feel like we can conquer that challenge, slay that demon. We're going to feel unstable and unsure. It goes back down to the need for grounding ourselves, centering ourselves, and using those tools and skills that help bring about that calm sense within ourselves. Meditation, I've named a couple that I'm offering now. Crystals, you could also use even visualizations, incense, essential oils. There's a long list. When we feel calm and stable, it's when we're going to change the Six of Wands from an obstacle to an ally, supporting us with that guidance, that direction, and most importantly, that courage. We've got that wand, that inner fire. And we need our inner fire to kind of take on and challenge that ego a bit. So making sure that we're working on that balance and groundedness so we feel stable and more able to take on our ego and some of those bumps and pushes we're going to feel in the middle of the week. So let's go on to our final piece here. Any further guidance and wisdom that we can share with my Angelite friends for the week of September 13th through to the 19th. The King of Swords. Kings are that fully developed personality. They have the most power, the most control. The King of Swords is the controller and ruler of knowledge. The one thing your ego cannot combat in any way is critical thinking. This fear-based response does not stand up to that critical questioning. It's not founded in fact. Rather, it's based on assumptions and what ifs. Using those critical thinking and questioning skills to our advantage to outwit and outthink our ego will help to put some checks and balances into our end of our week, so we are able to continue to receive that guidance, and most importantly, that nurturing of self. The lovers as a whole, that nurturing, supportive relationship oversees the entire week. That need to work with self and care for self. We still have lots of 2020, lots of bumps and sharp turns to take, and the more we're able to care for and strengthen us, the more we're going to be able to overcome that stumble and sharp turn. The Queen of Pentacles really reinforces and validates what I just said. That need for nurturing of self, that compassion and caring for you. When we take the time to love and embrace us for all our amazing gifts and abilities, we start to strengthen ourselves as a whole, reinforcing amazing abilities, and of course, helping you nurture some aspects that are to come. The Queen of Pentacles also adds in that need for grounding and stability, reminding you to carry that tiger iron, use those essential oils, that visualization to your advantage, strengthening and really reinforcing you as you come up against some of those bumps and boings this week. The Four of Pentacles. Now, fours themselves in tarot are a stable number. Talks about that foundation. The Four of Pentacles again reminds us and reinforces that foundational point. That grounding, that stable energy is going to be needed to overcome some of those challenges, to help you with that balance. It also is a friendly reminder that we can't just cocoon ourselves. We can't lock all our doors and bury ourselves in that protective home base. We do need to open the windows. We do need to allow others, whether that be in that physical support or in that astral support, in to help with that guidance and that nurturing. I want to thank you guys so very much for spending time with me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week holds for you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. As you can tell, there is so much more coming your way. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight and guidance is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page. And yes, like so many others, my Patreon page has lots of tiers and perks. Of course, my perks, you're looking at free readings and healings. I also have a Patreon exclusive video library for my supporters. I provided a helpful link, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Angelite friends. Hello and welcome, my Rose Quartz friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and the oracle cards, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week holds for my Rose Quartz friends. What can my Rose Quartz friends expect from the week of September 13th through to the 19th? Transformation and change. What a fantastic card. Even though we've got lots of anxious energy and lots of bumps and sharp turns that we're taking right now, we have that air and energy of transformation, of evolution, of growth in the air. It's so fantastic. This week offers you great opportunities to make some of those needed shifts in our lives. And it doesn't have to be grand leaps of faith. Actually, when we do those grand leaps of faith, we usually feel a lot more unstable in our growth. And we feel a lot more uncertain about those choices we've made. The slow baby steps that we take causes stability, reinforces our choices. When we have that steady progression, it may feel like you're not getting anywhere until you start reflecting on what has happened and you take a look behind you. Slow, steady steps starts to make a lot of headway in this amazing journey that we're taking. Just when we look back, we're a lot further than we thought we were because we're taking it slow and steady. So let's look at this week a little bit more. What can my rose quartz friends expect from the beginning of the week? Really not surprising to see the Knight of Pentacles. Knights are that no fear energy, full of action and go. That pentacle, that growth and abundance. In the original cards, Pamela Coleman Smith drew the knights in varying stages of motion. Where the Knight of Swords is charging headlong into a storm, the Knight of Pentacles is standing steadfast. He has plowed his fields, he has worked hard on his home front. And that's the energy that we're looking at. We're starting this week off with some needed care and attention to ourselves and to what we're trying to achieve. Really supports that transformation and change because we're starting off right with us, right where it matters. Taking that time, and most importantly, giving ourselves permission to work on ourselves, nurture us, and, big part of this, focus in on aspects and pieces that bring you joy, that creative part of you. All of those are going to be essential aspects and pieces of what we're looking at in this change and transformation. Let's go on to the middle of the week. What can my rose quartz friends expect from the middle of the week? The Lovers, the 6th card in the Major Arcana. We're looking at that connection. And it's not a connection to others. It's a connection to self. We're looking at a week of change, of transformation, of rebirth. We need to re-establish a positive connection with ourselves. These two cards very much go hand in hand. That work on self, and of course, that relationship with your higher self. That relationship you have with you. We need to pull it out of that low vibrational negative self-talk and swing it back into that positive, loving self-talk. Nurturing and caring for you. I know there's a lot going on that external piece, that global standpoint. We need to take time. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. It goes back to that baby steps I was talking about. We need to take time for us. Devoting half an hour, 15 minutes on that important aspect on that important part of you. Those smaller chunks start to add up, start to really support and reinforce that need for positive shifting in our lives. Something that comes very clearly to me right now is a meditation I did with Archangel Chamuel. It's one of the ones I did early on, so it's further down the list. It was a meditation on self-love. And this is very much what we're looking at here. Swinging that negative self-talk into a positive, nurturing relationship or a way of communicating. Also, we're looking at a lot of rose quartz here. And rose quartz is the crystal that connects us with Archangel Chamuel the most. His auric color is this same very light pink. And anytime I'm around rose quartz, I really feel that embrace of Archangel Chamuel, that beautiful comfort. In the middle of the week, maybe something that you look at trying or revisiting. Like I said, small chunks go a long way. Meditation supports us with connecting in and making some of those shifts, receiving some of that wisdom that we need, shifting our perspective of us, strengthening us, connects into that night where we're working on us, and we're looking at that change. So let's go on to the end of the week. What can my rose quartz friends expect from the end of the week? The Six of Cups. Now, sixes are about harmony and balance. The Six of Cups, we're looking again, we're into that intuitional state, that emotion state. The Six of Cups is that reminiscing card. We need to go back to when we really thought we were amazing, which you're looking at again, that adolescent time period. We were never wrong, we were the best, and nothing could stop us. We need those really firm beliefs in ourselves to look at that connection, to reinforce and support our transformation. We don't want as much egocentricity as most adolescents have. We need that balance. But we also need that positive outlook of us. That's where we're looking at that change, and that's going to help that transformation. We're not looking at this week where we're going to have major shifts and a total overhaul or transformation that we don't have control over. We're going to start this progression. You can see how he's really kind of sparkly and on a path. He's coming out of the shadows and into the light. It's not an overnight piece. Rather, it's going to take time. This week offers us that ability to start to walk in and embrace that amazing light that we hold within ourselves. And we need to start with some reflection and some compassion to self. Two key elements in this process. So, let's go on to some challenges. What is the challenge that my rose quartz friends are going to face for the week of September 13th through to the 19th? The Queen of Cups. Now, queens are that beautiful, nurturing energy. Now, the Queen of Cups She's the second most intuitive card in the deck. We're going to feel that pull and push when it comes to believing in ourselves, trusting in our intuition, trusting in ourselves. Our ego is going to throw a fit. This week is about change and transformation. Two very bad words for your ego. Your ego is going to make you question yourself, question your abilities, and misdirect you so you're not able to nurture yourself. You're not able to reflect on key elements and pieces that are going to support you. Taking that time and really reflecting in, rather than reacting like what your ego wants. We're going to take a page out of the Knight's playbook. We are going to ground and stabilize ourselves. That's going to help give some foundation for this queen, which will help to turn her from an obstacle to an ally, helping us trust in ourselves, trust in our intuitive sense and self to gain the guidance that we need so we understand and can clearly see the path ahead of us. So yes, when we have that foundation of stability, our obstacle will be lessened. But until we focus in on that grounding and that stable energy, we'll find that the Queen is a bit of a challenge for us this week. And of course, it's going to be compounded by all those energies of the global situation and of what's going on in our communities. This is an individual aspect and outlook. We're going to be impacted, of course, by those other energies. So that grounding and stable energy is a vital key element in overcoming, well, any of these challenges. Let's go into some blessings. What blessing can my rose quartz friends embrace for the week of September 13th through to the 19th? Cleansing body and spirit. Very much connected into that nurturing, that healing aspect. We need to have that release and degunking, if you will, to embrace that transformation. Water is an amazing element that helps degunk and clear ourselves of some of this heavier energy. Whether or not you're a bath person, it doesn't matter. We can have similar results in a shower. It's that visualization and that release of those toxic energies that are holding us back, that need to set the intention before we get into the shower or the bath to help degunk and release some of this buildup. That's going to help shift some of these energies and clear out for this transformation. We can only hold so much within us before it just spills out and we don't take hold of it. It's that cleanse and release that we need to embrace the shifts and changes that we're looking at. Seasonal harvest. There are many things that are coming into bloom or season right now. We've been working on different aspects of self. It doesn't matter how connected you are to your abilities, how long you've been working with your talents and skills. We all have been coming to this point. We are able to embrace some of this work, bring it into our everyday. And that's going to bring in some of the shift and change that we're looking at. We've been nurturing ourselves. We've been working on different aspects and abilities. It's time to start to bring them in, incorporating them in to what it is you do in a day. Incorporating them into your life will help not only with that transformation, but it'll help raise your vibration and bring in even more opportunities for you. We're going to end off on some final thoughts. Whoop, of course, one hit the floor. What final thoughts, insight, and wisdom can we share with my rose quartz friends for the week of September 13th through to the 19th? All right, so we have one, of course, right under the camera. The Hierophant, the 5th card in the Major Arcana. We're looking at that support, that guide and keeper of keys. You don't see it in this rendition of the Hierophant, but the Hierophant is the keeper of the keys. The original card has, right in the front, at the bottom, these 2 keys that are crossing. Those are the keys to the doors and opportunities that the universe wants to share with you. You have to slow down and, very much like this, keep ourselves balanced so that we're able to embrace those opportunities. The Hierophant is also a pillar card. It's a gateway card. Beside him in the background is 2 pillars. And it's beyond those 2 pillars that we're going to gain those opportunities. We need to embrace this shift, working with ourselves, and bringing forward this rite of passage for what it is. And this rite of passage is what we need to embrace and incorporate this transformation. Now the angels are telling me that I forgot a message here. It's that easy to overlook them. We have the Lovers, which is the 6th card in the Major Arcana, and the 6 of Cups. When you have that double 6, the angels are telling you to balance your thoughts between the physical and the spiritual worlds. It's in that balance that we're going to be able to release some of these fears, release what isn't working, so we have the opportunity to embrace what will. The 8 of Wands. Now, 8s are about movement and manifestation, and the 8 of Wands is very much a movement card. We're looking at being directed and empowered by that creativity. Like I said at the beginning of this reading, those creative endeavors are going to be important because it's through that expression of self, through whatever creative aspect you embrace, that's going to help you not only move forward, but go where you need to go. Stepping into the light, stepping into you, and stepping into your power. Following that creative element, those passions, is going to take you far. This nurturing and support of self will give you that stability to allow you to embrace and allow that passion to erupt and ignite and, well, lead the way. We're opening doors and opportunities, and we're going to need some light. And that passion, that inner fire, is going to give it to us. The 2 of Cups. Now we have the Lovers up here. The Lovers are that major archetype of connection and commitment. We now have that everyday aspect of that same energy. And we need to incorporate that energy. And we're not looking at an external source of that love. It's that incorporation of this nurturing and respect of self, that strong, stable relationship with ourselves that's going to help take us far. And that's what this week is about. Supporting and strengthening us, helping us to remember all those amazing aspects of us that are going to help us overcome any challenges, no matter if it's that individual challenge that we're facing or some of those harder, more social and global challenges. I want to thank you guys so very much for spending time with me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and that you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week is offering you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. As you can see, there are so many amazing new things coming forward, my friends. It's phenomenal. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight and healing is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page. And I know that a lot of people have Patreon pages. And yes, I've got lots of tiers and perks, which include, of course, free readings and healings. However, I also have a library of Patreon exclusive videos. Now, I've provided a helpful link below, so why don't you go check it out? Until tomorrow, my rose quartz friends. Hello and welcome, my tiger eye friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and the oracle cards, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Alright, without further ado, let's see what the week holds for my tiger eye friends. What can my tiger eye friends expect from the week of September 13th through to the 19th? Water magic. So fantastic. Water is the element of life. That cleansing, amazing element. And I know people are like, well, I'm not a witch, I'm not doing magic. It's not about the magic. It's about that cleansing and connection in with an element that can support us in that healing practice. And that's what we're looking at this week, is taking that time to cleanse, to heal, and to be open to some guidance that we wouldn't be open to unless we did that healing and cleansing beforehand. That's the magic. It's kind of a catch-22. We don't have to be a practicing witch to believe in magic. We've done it all our lives. It's just as an adult, we have a tendency to not believe in it as much as we used to. Maybe that's a shift that we need to embrace this week. It's not about the hocus pocus. It's about the beauty and wonder that's all around us that we're not embracing. So let's look at this week a little bit more. What can my tiger eye friends expect from the beginning of the week? The Two of Pentacles. What a fantastic card. That balance. Twos themselves in tarot is all about that duality, that balance. That pentacle, we're looking at that growth and abundance, that earthy energy. The best way to connect in with the water, which I know sounds crazy, the best way to connect into that is through the earth. Now, if you look at the background here, you see that water. And anytime in tarot or in the oracle cards you see water, you're looking at that intuitive state. And that intuition is supported by that grounding energy. That's what we're looking at here. We need that grounding and stable energy to connect in with that intuitive source. So the more stable, grounded, and balanced we are, the more we're going to get out of this week. Starting our week off with some grounding practices, those meditations, visualizations, embracing those grounding crystals, ensuring that they're clear and charged, will support you in some of this healing and cleansing that we need to do. So let's look at the middle of the week. What can my Tiger Eye friends expect from the middle of the week? The Emperor, the fourth card in the Major Arcana, and it's all about that structure, that stability. Like I just said, the more stable we are, the more open we're going to be to that healing, that cleansing, and whatever insight and wisdom that is going to be shared with us. We don't have to spend hours and hours working on healing and cleansing ourselves. Actually, you'll probably find that you're going to burn yourself out and it's going to feel more like a chore. This shouldn't be a chore. This should be something that is simple and fun. We have to remember that balance. We're not going to be hyper-focusing in on that healing because we'll miss out on opportunities and experiences. Taking it one step at a time. And it doesn't have to be leaps and bounds of a step. Those baby steps, I find, are more stable. And that's what we're looking at. We need that foundation, guys. So incorporating it into your day through meditation. And hey guys, let's be honest here, we've got that water magic. What's the best way to connect into water magic? Well, with water. One of the easiest ways to cleanse and degunk ourselves is through bathing and showering. Setting those intentions that we do want to clear ourselves out, we want to degunk and feel more able to take on some of these challenges, to overcome what it is we need to change and transform and grow as we need to. So, yes, if you're a bath person, sure, those long bubble baths, fantastic. Not only will that help to keep that balance and stability that we need, it gives you that time. You can set the intention that you want to cleanse and clear yourself and heal yourself in the best way possible. Asking those high vibrational beings to support you during your fantastic bubble bath. It can be that easy. If you're not a bath person, set those intentions for the shower. You can visualize that gunky buildup, that residue being washed away. Setting those intentions and, well, giving yourself that time to visualize and to experience that lightening you will have as the burdens start to lessen. So let's go on to the end of the week. What can my Tiger Eye friends expect for the end of the week? So this card was very clear, it needed to come out. the Tower. Not a card you really hope for, but helpful. Helps with that clearing out. Helps give you that foundation that is strong and stable. The more we're aligned with where we're supposed to go, the less ouchy this becomes. Shifting and changing is a natural aspect of our situation and our lives. When we're not fulfilling what we need to, we're not on the path that is going to help us for our greater good, the universe will come in and kind of, well, it's been gently trying to guide you to that aspect. Kind of gives us a bit of a zap in the butt so that we get going. This is kind of what your week has been building up for. That balance, that stability we need when we're looking at that shift and change to come. We're going to need that water magic at the end of the week more than ever. It's going to help release some of that residue, some of that heartache, and help with our healing and our movement forward. If we stay here and we are clinging to the rubble, you're going to find that the Tower hits you again, and usually harder, because you're not understanding the messages that the universe is clearly sending you. It's about that balance. We're going to need that. We're going to need that grounded, stable energy to move ourselves forward. The end of the week, you're going to want to look at that release and that healing. You can do that again through that water magic, bathing, showers. I've got a number of meditations that I have created. I have a new series of meditations that I created and posted late last week, adding to those tools. So you can go in and check out the Archangel Healing Meditations. I've got a link below to that. And I started, like I said, that new series. I've called it Just You and Me. And it's a guided meditation that's going to help you to connect into some of these skills I keep talking about. The first meditation that I completed was for protection. We're feeling that uneasy energy helps to bring in that stability that we need to overcome those challenges. So that protection may come in handy at the end of the week and probably into the week to come. This will continue on, and like I said, either you're going to get zapped again or you're going to have to do some cleanup work next week and the weeks to come. The more tools you have, the more you're able to overcome and make some shifts and changes in your lives. That's going to be the important aspect here. It's going to be that cleaning up and redirecting ourselves, not getting ourselves stuck on this situation or event that is kind of crashing down around us. So let's look at the challenge. Anytime we see the Tower, I hate to add another challenge to this, but that's not the challenge this week. That's just an energy that is there. And it's up to us to take that energy, that guidance, and use it to our advantage. So what is the challenge that my Tiger Eye friends are going to face for the week of September 13th through to the 19th? The Seven of Swords. Now, sevens are a bit of a challenge card. That's 7. We're looking at a bit of a conflict. It's usually a lucky number. 7 in itself is a very magical number. Now, the 7 of Swords, we're looking at the sword, so we're looking at truth and knowledge. The 7 of Swords talks about trying to get away with too much. Our ego is going to try and come to our rescue here. Oh my God, we're in trouble. Danger, danger. It's not danger. What the universe is doing is trying to take away the false. Get rid of what's not going to serve you, leaving you with that very clear, stable foundation. Your ego is going to try and misdirect you and mislead you so that you're not dealing with what's truly at hand. We need to face facts. When we start to face facts and embrace what it is the universe, those high vibrational beings, and what our intuition has been screaming at us, when we embrace that, we start to make those changes, we're being more real and truthful to ourselves. You're going to find that the tower doesn't hit. You have that understanding and you're making the necessary shifts. You're releasing what is not working. And that's what this week is about. We need that release, and of course, topping it off with some very much needed healing so that we can move forward rather than go ring around the rosy on the same problem or situation. Let's go on to some blessings here. What blessing can my tiger eye friends embrace for the week? Embrace for the week of September 13th through to the 19th. Sun and stars, the balance of night and day, light and dark. Knowing that even in the darkest of times, there is light and love to be found. No matter how strong of a strike we're looking at with the tower, knowing that even as the dust settles, there is light, there is love. And I know from personal experience, sometimes that tower strikes pretty damn hard. Knowing that we need that strike or that shake-up to bring in that balance and harmony that is truly our destiny. We can have false balance when we're looking at a false structure or foundation, especially when we are following the guidance of our ego. The tower in itself brings us that shake-up that we need to create positive, supportive, stable foundations, which helps to bring in that balance, that harmony, which brings in those opportunities and possibilities that we'd never imagined before. Then we have speak your mind. You need to talk about what happens with those supportive individuals, whether they be your physical support team or that astral support team. Speaking your mind, speaking from the heart, helps to release those feelings. When we release those feelings, we're able to move forward. The tower situation does not become a sword in our back in the Ten of Swords. It becomes a learning opportunity that we move forward from, rather than a toxic situation that is full of low vibrational energy that holds us back. Speaking your mind, expressing your thoughts, whether that be through the written word, oral communication, that creative expression, whatever is most meaningful and resonates with you, so that you do not allow it to build up and hold you back. So we're going to end off on any further insight and guidance, wisdom and support that we can offer my Tiger Eye friends for the week of September 13th through to the 19th. The Death card, the 13th card in the Major Arcana. I know it's hard to see when you have the Tower, then you have Death. That's a lot of challenging cards. However, Death is a release card. The cards are telling you very clearly this week is about that release and that cleanse. That's how we're going to move forward. Like I said here, we can't bottle it up inside of us, because not only are we looking at another Tower event, we're looking at another sword being driven deep in our back. That release is an essential aspect and element to what we're looking at this week. This week is talking about some growth for you. And that growth is going to be a bit turbulent. Making sure that you give yourself that time to release, to clear, and to balance yourself. The Fool, the 0 card in the Major Arcana. Those new beginnings. Anytime you see that Tower event occur, you're looking at some new opportunities, some new possibilities. And the more we're able to release, to balance, and to clear, you're going to find that those opportunities resonate a lot higher than you ever thought possible. All these elements help you to raise your vibration, helps you to see and embrace opportunities and possibilities that you wouldn't have been able to beforehand. Now, my Tiger Eye friends, you've got a lot of Major Arcana here. You have 4 of them. And we're looking at the Emperor, the 4th card in the Major Arcana. When you see that multiple 4, the angels are telling you that this is a time to build and work on your foundation, so you have that strong support system in play for challenges that are going to arise. So that foundation is a key element to this week, because that path is going to be clearer with a lot more opportunities, bringing in, of course, that abundance and fulfillment that we're looking for. The 8 of Cups. Now, 8s are about movement and manifestation. That cup, we're looking at that intuition and emotion. The 8 of Cups is driving us inwards. We're going to find the best release when we're looking at that reflection, that meditation, that connection to self. The more honest we are to ourselves about who we are and what's happening, the less ego-driven we're going to be. And the more open we're going to be to these opportunities and possibilities. Some of this may be a hard reflection for us, depending on how honest we have been in the past with ourselves. If we've been kind of trying to get away with a lot and not really being honest to ourselves, we're going to feel that pinch. Knowing that it's stuff we need to release to bring in that harmony that we're looking for, that balance and that healing that we need. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and that you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week holds for you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. As you can tell, there is so much more coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing healing and insight is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page. And it's through my Patreon supporters that I'm able to expand my tool sets and my videos. And of course, with Patreon, I've got lots of tiers and amazing perks, which include healings and readings from me. It also includes a Patreon exclusive video library that you have access to and will continue to have access to as you support me. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Tiger Eye friends.